From the great state of Texas, you are now listening to Skip the Noise podcast, a Rounded Edge media production. Thank you so much for joining us. And by us, of course, I'm referring to Rick, a.k.a. the Marathon, a.k.a. Mexican Nostradamus, and myself, Benjamin James, here for another tremendous episode. Shout out to Mike Tacklebox for the music. And oh my goodness gracious, we did miss a week. This time I felt like it was pretty justified. We had a little bit of a situation down here in the Lone Star State. You know, just a little bit. So what at first seemed like, oh, this is cute. This is a snow day. And, you know, I posted some Instagram of me smacking wiffle balls all over the fucking neighborhood, and kids were having a snowball fight. Oh, it was a nice, fun time. It was a blast, which it was for a short time.
It was.
Even though we kind of knew disaster was about to hit, just because, of course, this is Texas, and especially, you know, obviously been up there in the DFW area. You got a little bit of it too. It's not like you were scot-free, but I want to point. No, that's not what I'm saying. Hold on.
-1.
No, I know.
Not -1.
Yeah, it was -1 outside my house.
But my point, the larger point. Yeah, no, it gets colder where you guys at in general.
What the hell?
But my larger point here is that in Houston, it just seems like every couple of years we get fucked with something, doesn't it?
It used to be every couple of years, man. Now it's every year. Every year.
It's almost like clockwork.
Yeah.
And so what happened if you're not for the unengaged? The power grid completely, and we're going to get into that. Trust me. But just to set up like the scenario here.
Fucking wait to get into it.
So obviously, when you're in a place like you know, Texas, obviously in general, but Houston specifically, it's just not set up to deal with 15 degrees. It just never happens. It never happens. The coldest it gets here on a consistent bake is 30, like maybe a couple days a year tops. Okay. So 15 degrees with a storm, with snow and ice. And the thing was, made it even more. It was a perfect storm so it rained like before the really dropped. We had a lot of precipitation, so it almost just coated the roads with a nice layer of ice, and then it dropped in one day. It went all the way down to like 15. So now you have like sheets of ice. It's snowing outside, so transportation was almost non-existent. Therefore, schools are shut down, supply chain for anything, nobody can go to work, everything. Well, then it started to progress. This shutdown, and if you don't know, Texas has its own independent fucking power grid, and we're definitely just wait. We're gonna get into that.
Oh my god!
I just want to set the whole scenario, and this is direct. I mean, obviously, a lot of our listeners are from Texas, and they fucking know exactly what happened. But we do have listeners abroad, in other, not only in the United States, but out there in other parts of the world who probably don't know the nuances of what happened here. So the Texas is, you know, it's separate from the rest of the United States. It runs on its own power grid. That just obviously wasn't equipped to handle what occurred. Oh, I don't know. Several millions of people across the state lost power.
4 million at one point.
4 million at one point. Right. And that was actually lucky, because it could have been even worse.
Well, that was actually households.
Okay, right. So not people.
So remember, Texas is a state of, I believe, 50 million. So 4 million households did not have power. So that's not people. So the typical household has at least 2.3 people. So that's really, at the very least, that's how many people really lost power. So 1 out of every 3 people in Texas lost power.
So do the math on that. And then like each household, mind you, so, you know, newer homes more are equipped with, you know what I mean, insulated pipes, and the way that they're run, the water, the plumbing is run through the house is a little more strategic. But obviously older homes, they've got pipes that lay in, you know, perimeters around the house that are not in well heated areas. Plus, and now you've got your power out, they're even more susceptible. So, I don't know, every other person who lives in Texas, pipes fucking bursted. It seemed like, right? Almost half the people I know at work had fucking pipes bust, and they're either fucking ceiling collapsed or their
well, not
floor.
only that, it was mainly businesses too. Of all,
right, yeah. So it's not just residents. It's,
I mean, just as an antidote, like jujitsu places that I went to, every single one of them busted pipes. So like a lot of guys couldn't even go to jujitsu because every one of them that had some type of like business connection all had busted pipes. I mean, we were all cleaning, like we were all trying to help out the gyms. We'd go in cleaning up wet mats that had to be dried out.
Right.
The majority of business has been impeded and destroyed from this from this whole situation.
Yeah. And not to downplay the fact that sucks that your jiu-jitsu gym had
well,
that.
I'm just using it as like a
no,
like
I know.
I was saying like businesses got trashed.
100%. I'm just giving you a hard time. But think about municipal buildings. See how, you know what I mean? That affects everything. So it was a fucking disaster from top to bottom. And then just in like, this is kind of my last point. Then all the water plants and systems, the mud districts, utility districts, completely shut shit down because their plants aren't equipped to deal with this weather, just because, like I said, it's a once in every century fucking temperature for this part of the country. So nothing is equipped because obviously everything's based on financials and making the most money. So they're not going to spend the extra money to protect from 10-degree temperatures when it never gets fucking 10 degrees. Okay. I mean, there's some politics involved, and obviously we'll get involved in that. But once again, I just want to set the whole scenario for those who don't know. So you add that into the mix. Now you've got fucking millions of citizens who don't have fucking water on top of that. And then once they do get water, now it's not clean water. Now you can't use the fucking water. You have to boil the water. So overall, I mean, this affected damn near the entire state, which is the second by populace, the second largest state in the whole United States, next to California. So we're talking a enormous amount of fucking people were affected by this overall disaster. But we're gonna really break this shit down because obviously it was close to home. This affected all three of us.
Yep.
This affected not only the three of us, but like everybody
all
in
our families.
Our families, everybody in our lives. Like nobody was got away from
my
this.
mom didn't have, my mom and my family didn't have power for 80 hours.
Yeah. 100%. And
my mom's like 70, fucking freezing in a house, cuddling up with my sister and her family because of just pure incompetence from our government. I mean, there's just no other way to fucking put this. So
what now that you've opened that, Ben, run with it, man. What happened here exactly?
What basically happened here is we have it. So the ideal, and I don't want to attack the deregulation of power companies in the state of Texas. That's not my ideal. The problem is whenever you have deregulation, you still have to have some type of regulations on these companies. And so, of course, whenever they were compounded with the ability of, should we winterize our pipes? No, because it costs more money. The reality is no, and this continues to be just a huge marker in business. Businesses do not regulate themselves. So that's why regulation is necessary. Businesses will not spend the extra money to take care of shit because guess what? They don't give a fuck in the end. Because in reality, all they had to do is wrap some fucking pipes with some towels and shit. And they couldn't do that shit because they're a bunch of fucking cheap fucking nards. So then now we end up in this situation where we have the governor of the state. First, he fucking was sucking off ERCOT. And, he's just blowing them saying, they're great. And then as soon as he realized the political backlash, says, no, fuck them. We're going to go after them. We're going to get them. And now he's like, well, we're going to pay for all the companies to fix the problem. So we, the taxpayers, are going to pay for the downfalls of these private companies. So we're going to bail them out again, which is bullshit.
And just to interject real quick, what he's referring to, ERCOT, is the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, which is the
ERCOT
governing. Yeah, ERCOT. They basically suck.
ERCOT. I mean, that's what they are. So
whatever happened to like their private businesses, they can do whatever they want, kind of thing.
No. So no, that's fine, right? That's fine. Except that no, that's a little bit different because this is an actual public utility, not a forum for some little orange hair puppet fuckface to try to cry about.
Just saying.
This is a public utility. These energy companies should have been told to do that. And also on top of that, I hate to break it to you, but everyone that actually kept power has like $10,000 bills coming at them, because what they ended up doing was, okay, well, so we're going to stay open, of course, and now we're going to maximize the rate that we can charge. So in reality, there's a lot of people questioning whether the rolling blackouts were even necessary. Because I hate to break it to everybody, but okay, we're using a bunch of power when it's -1. Hey, what's bigger? Your heat pump transfer or your fucking 3 tons units outside your house that cool your home? Who do you think draws more energy when it's 106 degrees outside for 40 days straight out here? Who really draws more energy? Where do you really think the real crisis is? It's horseshit. This was an exploitation play. These companies want their free winterization money, which is what they're going to get now. And on top of that, we were all had. People are getting $10,000 bills that, guess what, are going to be paid by who? The government, which is essentially us. So no, this whole thing was just it was a shakedown. And ERCOT won. They took everybody. And this deregulation and our fucking state government is fucking had. They are fucking Abbott is a dipshit moron. Someone should beat him with just a big cock until he cries. And then after they're done with that cock, shove it up Ted Cruz's ass on his way back to Cozumel, because he threw his own children under the bus.
It's Cancun, actually, but that's
whatever. Fuck him and his mother. You know, in the end, what it comes down to is he fucking
take a shot.
He tossed his own children under the bus to protect his image.
What did he do with that?
Being a good dad. I was being a good dad. I was taking my kids to Cancun. Who the fuck says that? Who the fuck says that?
That's backpedaling. He knows what he was doing. He knew he was fucked.
Lied.
He only came back after he got busted. Regardless of what you say, and you know, I posted on the story him handing out water. Well, yeah, motherfucker, now you're handing out water because AOC's down here raising millions of fucking dollars and showing.
And he's serving like barbecue to fucking firefighters.
Yeah,
he's like serving this delicious Texas barbecue to our firefighters.
And he's wearing a Texas fucking mask and shit.
But
like,
D-bag,
here's the thing, man. Like, no matter what he says, and like he was just trying to be a good dad, all this stuff. Yo, dude. Yeah. You had the biggest crisis that you've in your term, the biggest fucking crisis that affects your constituents, and you fucking went on vacation, bro.
Bailed.
I don't even have a fucking job that's whatever, bro. I was there for the entire shit, skid my ass all over the fucking roads to get there. Yep. You can fucking stay in the country for one. And on top of that, you can stay in the fucking state that you're representing. So fuck you. Fuck your dumbass fucking excuses. Seriously, this is where I get fired up on shit like that. You have one fucking job. It's to represent your people. Get your fucking ass back in the state that you represent. Fuck you.
Yep. Carpet bagging motherfucker. He's not even really a Texan. He can suck my balls. Fuck him.
What do you expect him to do?
Yeah,
what do you guys expect
not go to Cancun.
Not
go to
connect my power. I mean,
No, I do.
You wanted to go to the public utility and like fix the pipes for my fucking house.
Leaders lead from the front.
Pipes.
Leaders lead from the front. Leaders lead from the front.
You guys realize politicians are the most useless human beings on the face of this earth, right? They're terrible at their professions. So what do they do? They go into politics.
That's exactly what this whole podcast is about. Yes, we're very clear on that.
You're aware of that, right?
Except this fucking hose bag. He's useless. But you voted for him.
Yeah,
you voted for a useless hose bag.
My cousin is a shitty lawyer, and guess what? He wants to go into politics.
I love it.
Okay, that's the way they are. Okay.
Right. No, but here's check this out.
That's all politicians, dude.
There goes one fucking listener. Thanks, dickhead.
no, but hold on. But here, you're 100%. You're 100% right. It is all bullshit anyway. But here's the thing.
Don't be using that fucking. This is a bullshit.
Your only fucking job, really, at the end of the day, is public perception, and you fuck that up. Bad. At least make a fucking appearance and act like you give a shit.
Yep.
Dude, don't go to fuck on vacation, bro. Like vacation. You're going
on. This is a state issue. It's not a federal issue.
Can you?
What the fuck are you talking about?
If my boss, if I got texted in the fucking 7 a.m., get here ASAP.
Yeah.
And I don't even fucking make, dude, I'm going to qualify for the stimulus package. That's how fucking little money I make, motherfucker. We're just talking about before we started recording. I don't make Ted Cruz money, bro. You know what I mean? You guys, if you listen to the podcast, you can kind of put the pieces together and figure out what the fuck I do for a living. My ass had to be there.
Male prostitution.
Well, hey, it pays, man. Everybody's got a little hustle. But I took my
podcasting.
Yeah, exactly. And I sell bullshit out of my fucking trunk at Buc-ee's. So hey, but I drove my Nissan Maxima on some sketchy road conditions, to be there every single day for about 24 hours a day for 6 fucking days in a row, and with no water in the establishment that I manage. Yep. Shit everywhere. It was I'm surprised that we were fucking legally allowed to fucking open the most.
We did. Were open?
Oh, we were fucking open. We never closed,
Holy
bro.
Shit.
We had shortened hours, but we were open the whole fucking time, and that's why
I saw the lines, man.
Yeah, the sketchiest was the first couple of days before we had established, because after a couple of days we got some support from local law enforcement, from Harris County deputies and stuff, but first couple of days, brother, it was just on us. And nobody could get to, especially when the weather was still like in effect. You're talking about opening up an establishment with I think at the beginning, like one day there was literally like 5 of us, and maybe hundreds of people already lined up outside, just kind of rolling the dice. Like, all right, I've never seen this fucking scenario. And I've seen a lot of crazy shit. Cause like I said, we have disasters here almost every 6 months. There's some catastrophic event where everybody's out of power for fucking, 3 weeks or whatever. But yeah, man. So yeah, the water was quite a situation, and it's still, I think it's just now.
Well, what I just to touch on that, because I don't want to lose facts beyond just the fact that we have a shitty governor and a shitty senators. I mean, at least Cornyn, he just fucking kept quiet. You got to give John Cornyn something. If somebody's a fucking survivor, that guy does it. But my big thing is the fact that our infrastructure failed so miserably. Right. So I work for a massive, where I work is a massive building. Right. We have generators that are capable of doing quite a bit, like running. I think we have somewhere around 450,000 square feet plus.
It's huge.
We're talking about, and multiple refrigeration units. We have refrigeration units that are larger than my home. Walk-in coolers, things of that nature. So we're talking about massive power draws. Everything in my facility is temperature monitored, must maintain within a half a degree to a degree.
Right.
When the power went out, right, we kept running continuously.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that our infrastructure can't do that, the massive pileup that happened over here, that killed, took 6 souls, was right by downtown Fort Worth. It wasn't like in some back freeway where where people just don't get around to icing. This was freeways that were supposedly de-iced 10 minutes previously.
What happened? I'm sorry.
There was a massive wreck.
A pileup.
It involved 133 cars, 6 people died.
Oh, right. That was if you remember, it was all over the internet. Like it was it was hard. Shit went viral. It was fucking disturbing.
Well, this was 1.5 to 2 miles outside of downtown Fort Worth, on roads on a massive freeway, the only way in and out of downtown Fort Worth, really from east to west, that was just been de-iced. What my major problem with, other than having shitty government, shit, I mean, just shit. Abbott's an asshole. He needs to be gone. Cruz is an asshole. He needs to be gone. But I'm also talking about the shitty infrastructure that's in this state, right? We fucked everything up. Rolling blackouts are not just during the winter. They're also during the summer.
What? I never had a rolling blackout in the summer.
Oh, we always have them. We have them up here. They rolling blackouts here because see, what y'all don't get is we get 40. Sometimes we've had up to 55 straight days over 100 degrees here.
Yeah, same here.
Right.
It's
so
worse.
Our power grid gets taxed here for some reason. So we have rolling blackouts at least once during the summer out here. I don't know why y'all don't, but I know we do.
I mean, here it gets like 108 and it's humid out there.
Right. So, but
like you can't even breathe.
So we have to have like rolling blackouts. So I'm telling you, the infrastructure in our state is dog shit, right? We're not prepared for anything. And we're just running by the seat of our pants. Anytime we have any type of slight minor emergency, everything goes to shit. I mean, I'll take my wonderful area once again with the vaccine clinics. I mean, they can't even organize a fucking vaccine clinic out here, right? They're fucking dropping doses. Both Fort Worth and the mayors of both. So it's actually a mayor from each party.
What is it?
Dallas is a Democrat, basically kind of run city, and Fort Worth is basically a conservative run city, and they both cannot get a fucking vaccine clinic under control. They're dropping doses. They're missing out. They're sending the wrong messages to the wrong people to get it. They're just like, it's pandemonium to get a vaccine out here.
Wait a second. I thought they would have given it to like a hospital system to create a vaccine clinic.
No. It's
kind of like here in Houston.
I'm right. MD
here in Houston, we got Memorial Hermann to.
Right. But that's not out here. That's what I'm telling you. The infrastructure and the way things are run in quite a bit of parts of the state are just dog shit. So once again, I'm going back to the water.
I think you just hate where you live.
No, it's the water, motherfucker. Y'all have boil notices too, right? You have boil notices.
Just cut off it.
Yeah, I went 4 days.
That's what I say about that.
Boil notices, right? That's because our waste treatment plants can have power taken away from them. Who thought that like, oh, yo, we gotta be able to shut these down and continue to serve people. None of our infrastructure makes sense. All it takes is one issue, and it's just a cascade. So in reality, this just shows how easily everything can fall apart in this state. Very simply, it shows our weaknesses. It shows our overall. Basically how our disdain for authority and regulation has led us to be extremely vulnerable. And now there's people that have died from this. We have a whole state now that's questioning the deregulated energy market because of what the deregulated energy market did. They basically game-stopped. Most of the fucking people that were buying power got game-stopped. I mean, fucking like $10,000 power bills. You know, people who have automatic withdrawals on their electricity bills.
Yeah, I stopped that shit.
Yeah, guess what? They're fucking bankrupt right now.
Dude, Rick, what was your
what was your power bill?
Your gas bill from
I think I got a bill for, this is not a joke, I got a bill for $202,000.
And I'll verify this. He showed it to us.
Yeah, we saw it. It was on the text thread.
Verified by other human beings. He got a bill for $202,000. You know what I'd do if I got a bill for $202,000?
Don't pay it.
I'd other than cry and then try to switch providers as quickly as possible and like remove all my payment information from them. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. We are not prepared for anything in this state.
Well, and it shows you how reliant we are on the fucking power grid, dude. Once that shuts down, dude, like just to paint a picture for you, motherfuckers were and this is another one I threw on the our Instagram page, skip_the_noise_podcast. Please give us a follow. Yeah. If you're so inclined. I try to regularly maintain that. That's our one sort of shining social media. That's all the fuck we have time. We're old, dude. We can't be on
TikTok and
one day. One day.
Read and
TikTok. One day, but like for right now, like Instagram's where it's at. So if you want to find us and keep up with the Skip the Noise universe, as it were, go to that. But in Herman Park in inner city Houston, there were motherfuckers lined up with buckets out of a little spigot, like it was, you know what I mean? Fuck. Like shit was gnarly. Like we had once again going back to the work scenario. Luckily, my household district was I don't want to say unaffected, because there was some issues with pressure and stuff initially, but overall we never completely lost water. But where I was not that far away, honestly, completely lost water. We were like my day began, I think it was on Tuesday, driving around, texting and making phone calls to people that lived in my boss's neighborhood. Like, hey, do you have any 5-gallon buckets? Blah, blah, blah. Like, we mapped it all out, picked them up. And then some guy was nice enough to let us use his pool, went to his backyard, rounded up a couple of, dudes and like filled up a truck with 5-gallon buckets of water to bring back and dump them into the toilet so you could keep that going. And that's what people were doing. Like, people who lived in apartments were filling up buckets from the pool. People were going, whatever lakes are around, shit like that. And then once again, people, in the city crowding around public parks, waiting in line to try to fill up fucking Home Depot buckets and shit of water. Like, the shit got fucking gnarly, man. And that was like within a couple of days. And now that's the thing. Today's Monday. Okay, whenever you're listening to this, Monday the 22nd?
22nd, yeah.
Monday the 22nd. It's like 70 degrees now. So it's like,
dude, it's beautiful outside, man. It is beautiful.
It's gorgeous, dude. I was off today finally, and I was like fucking outside all day. Like, this is fucking amazing.
Hey, before we go into any jerk off fest, I also would like to also talk about how our state officials not only ran away to different countries, but also then blamed
for sure
these power problems on just ridiculous concepts.
Oh boy.
They said green energy is the cause. Green energy is the end of our power grid. That's why we can't do anything. I think Tucker Carlson said, you know what? The green energy makes unreliable power grid. That's science. So what science is Tucker Carlson talking about? Well, I don't know, because I looked through all the science and no, it's all total horseshit.
Well, it's really easy. It's the science of water freezing on the wind
Hold
turbines.
on, Rick's been pretty quiet. Let's let Rick get some.
But there's nothing for him to get. He knows it.
I want to hear the conservative.
Yeah. What is this? With this water freezing on the turbines? Okay. Have you seen a wind turbine?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You know how long the blades are, right?
Yep, I have.
How long?
They're pretty long.
They can be about 200 to 300 feet long.
Literally. Something like that, yeah.
Right. So you think some water is going to stop turbines from turning?
Yes, it will. Water stops a lot of things from happening, man. It erodes granite. Okay, I mean, you get some water in there, you get into the. Get some water into the cracks.
Granite?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, over time, it does.
Over millions of years, yeah.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, so the Grand Canyon, that's a good reason to not depend on.
No, I'm saying the power of water is pretty strong. Okay, you get some water into these crevices. I mean, you freeze it up. It breaks. It breaks concrete. It breaks our hardest surfaces in the world, man.
Look, man, I feel you. Okay, I feel you, right? Except that one problem with your whole premise, right?
Oh,
you can go on and talk about this and that.
AOC endorsed it.
But the maximum amount of power that we get from green energy in the state of Texas is 25%.
25%. That's correct.
That is the maximum. That's if all cylinders firing. We got a windy day and it's a blazing Sunday because it's not just wind power. It's also solar power. That's part of the green energy part and geothermal vents. So we're talking about windy day.
Geothermal vents in Texas?
There are towards Big Bend. So we're talking about wind power, solar power, geothermal, right? All these three things combined make 25% of the maximum because of most of the power that we get is from nuclear, coal, and natural gas. That is a majority, the other 75%. So even
not coal, they've cut back on the coal.
No. I'm just saying partition in that 75% that's left over. It's nuclear.
Okay, sure.
Natural gas and coal is one of them. I'm not saying coal is the biggest additive. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying of the most, those are what's the main power supply of Texas.
Okay.
So how can something that is so minuscule, which is wind power, which actually provides only 2 to 3% of the total output of Texas power, be the downfall of this grid?
when you have something that provides 25%.
No. Everyone was blaming wind power and turbines, which is 2% of the total output of power. 25% is green energy overall.
Yeah.
Let's start with the turbines because that's what everyone blamed. 2% of the total output of energy in the state of Texas is provided by wind power. Even if wind power is running at 100%, it will only provide 2% of the state's power grid.
All right.
So how the fuck did wind power take us down? How did this water that shattered the turbines?
It did.
Okay, great. Okay, so then it took out 2% of the power grid.
When you have energy consumption, when you have energy consumption at the point that we had it here in Texas, okay, 2% is quite a lot. It's very useful. Okay, 2% can shut down a lot of households, which is what happened.
1 out of 3 households was shut down. 33% of the power grid was wiped out. Right?
Right. Cool. Yeah.
Right. So that's a substantial amount. Is not just solar.
What we need is more nuclear power plants in the state of Texas.
No one's right, but that's not the problem. Well, yeah, actually, no, that is a problem because the way we regulate power plants, they can't even be ready for fucking natural conditions. Now you want to have nuclear power plants? What's their regulation going to be? Oh, big bang bang boom boom, and then they were just going to close that section of Texas off.
Well, here's
have a bunch of mutants running around, fucking Mad Max style.
Bro, this is all. If this is like a movie, this is the way it's playing out. If you go that route, exactly what's going to happen is a complete nuke. The next fucking Houston 2022, the worst nuclear fucking fallout in the history of mankind.
Fucking Mad Max.
No, man, you put that in Big Ben or something. Okay, put it out in the desert.
Oh, great! You're gonna make scorpions the size of fucking Volkswagen Beetles coming out of the desert. Awesome.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I Shrunk the Kids or something.
The green, this fucking bullshit concept of like, oh, green energy, that's what took out our power grid. I remember when the first moron said it, I was like, oh, really? This is what it is. It isn't incompetent state officials who didn't do anything and didn't learn from 10 years ago when we had exactly the same type of winter event occur, that they didn't realize, oh, hey, maybe we should do something about this, because 10 years before that, we also had another winter event that occurred. And then 10 years before that, there was another winter event just like this that occurred.
Yeah, but the lowest temperature like this, dude.
No, the lowest temperatures recorded in the state of Texas were in 1989.
Which is?
The second and thirds are in 99, 2011. So there's a this once in a lifetime thing is once every 10 fucking years, guys. And we continue to fucking fall for the same dumb shit. We're like, oh, it's a once in a lifetime. Like, wait. I'm fucking 41. How come I've seen this shit 3 times? Because last time I checked, it was 4 degrees in 2011, and I was driving through 1.5 feet of snow on my F-150, 4x4. Trucky truck fucking maxed that shit out, and I got out of there. Like, guess what? I've done this shit before. I've done it before. Just like in fucking 89, they did.
You're saying 2001, it was 4 degrees here in Houston?
No. I'm talking about over. Well, no, Houston also. Okay, so I'm talking about from the records in DFW. And so Texas essentially mainly goes to the same type of winter setup. Every 10 years, we have these cataclysmic snow events once in a lifetime. It's like, wait, motherfucker, wait. Happening.
Don't you know anything about the last 2 years? Everything's unprecedented. Everything. Okay, every fucking news article that comes out is unprecedented.
Okay,
everything.
Right, but that's what I'm trying to say, Pendejo.
You're shutting off the people.
No, everyone keeps saying. You guys keep saying this. You guys keep saying. No, you're the one agreeing with saying, well, this doesn't happen that often, so why should they do it? It happens every 10 years. That's pretty fucking often.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't say that. Nah, you're putting words in my mouth. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say don't fucking do it.
God damn it, you did, you little fucker.
All right, we gotta rewind the tape, man.
All I'm saying is, in the end, our infrastructure sucks ass.
Do we still use tape?
We have a pendejo for a governor, right? We have a carpet bagging fucking fuck boy for a senator.
Man, take this alone, dude. That guy.
And then on top of that,
national treasure, right?
In the national treasure for fuck boys. And then in the end, we have a fucking, we're deregulated and the whole point of deregulation is that we have cheaper prices, right? That we have more options. It's not that, oh, hey, we could just provide you with scarce service for something important. Deregulation is supposed to be for the consumer.
Okay, I was reading about the high prices thing though. So not everyone's going to get these high prices, of course. And the thing with Centerpoint and the $202,000, that was actually an error that came out in the news. I'm pretty sure my bill's going to be somewhere about $5,000.
And you weren't the only one. Like this was a big one.
Your bill's only
this was a big, it was all over the news. A lot of people got these $200,000 bills.
Yeah.
At the same time, it indicates what kind of fucking chaos and shit was awry.
But the reason some people are going to get higher prices because they opted to get billed on a market price because it's always been expensive.
Right. And explain that real quick, because I think I don't know what the laws are. I know though.
It's like getting an AP. It's like getting a variable rate interest loan. Okay.
Right.
You either go for the set rate, which is a little higher, but you know what your interest is going to be. So same thing with electricity in Texas. You can sign up for the market rate, which is typically low, but you get these natural disasters and it drives up the price. But see, not everybody is going to get these high prices. If you signed up for a set price on your electricity or your gas bill, you're going to be fine, which is a majority of people. But you got these guys who wanted to gamble. Okay.
Yeah.
They're going to get variable rates, and the high prices is just something that they're going to have to live with because they opted for that. They had a choice.
Well, and in Texas too, there's this open market. So there's all these energy carriers.
Yeah.
Little companies you'd never heard of. So what you do, like every year, you go on powertochoose.com and you select who's got the lowest kilowatt hour fucking rate, and you just pick it because it doesn't matter. It's not like the fucking electricity is different. That's what you do every single year. Well, at least me anyway. You don't just go like, Reliant, right? Whatever is like the primary carrier. So they'll still charge a little bit of a rate for these who, and honestly, like I'm thinking like these companies, are they even like every time I sign up for electricity every year, they're all the same, but at the same time too, are they like, they're always different and you've never heard of them ever. So I'm picturing it's like a Vin Diesel boiler room scenario where it's like two guys with a fucking phone. You know what I mean? On like off a fucking Hillcroft somewhere, and that's an energy company provider.
It really is. But, it's fucking energy brokers, dude.
But my energy bills are so much lower than like people I know in California or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, what? That's what you pay? And I'm like, yes, that's what the fuck I pay every month. It's ridiculous. So there's benefit, right? They're like, there's an appeal to that system, which I think I don't know.
It's conducive to business too.
Am I crazy?
You got lower energy prices.
Is Texas
build these high go ahead.
The open, well, I guess what I'm getting at is the open marketplace for these energy companies. That's pretty unique to hear, right? It's not like every
no. There's other markets where there's competition for energy companies and stuff like that.
The same way though that it is here. Like here, it's almost like fucking Wild West, where like anybody can decide that like, oh, I'm an energy carrier.
What were you
paid $150 for an LLC?
From what I understand,
there was an energy carrier that was also like a pyramid scheme too. You bring in customers and lower your price, and then you bring in enough customers, you start making money off of it.
Buy their energy, and next thing you know, you got free energy.
And then they jack the prices on everybody. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I think from what I know, and the deregulation in the Texas market is actually kind of fucking entertaining because it really isn't so much the fact that it's for competition for price wise. It's also just because, like you said, it's the fucking Wild West. I believe there's other markets. It's mainly a conservative thing. What makes us different is we have our own power grid, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's
why shit gets fucking gangster. Yeah. Like everyone can play, like everyone's playing patty cake, right? And we're playing like fucking stick 'em up with like real guns. Like this shit is different because Everywhere else, they like, oh, we have deregulation. You can buy your energy prices, but they're still fixed by massive grids. They're still controlled by these huge federal grids. Whereas here, ERCOT in Texas, there isn't that same type of meaning of rules. So while Rick said it's conducive to business, it is not whenever the business's pipes have exploded everywhere. And there's not protection for that at all. See, business is conducive to being hold on. Business is being conducive to stability. Stability is based upon day-to-day maintenance and service that continues the same thing. Right? This completely deregulated market gets disturbed every 10 years. Right? Because last time anything happens in this state, it's every 10 years. What is the most famous saying about Texas and its weather?
It's good.
Go out
I don't know. What is it? I don't know. What is it?
It's freezing 1 second and it's snowing 1 second and it's fucking sunny day the next. So guess what? If you live in a place that has temperate variabilities that can tend to be extreme on either end and does so at least every 10 years, guess what? That shit's stupid. And we're not prepared again. This is not once in a lifetime.
Let me tell you something. So I don't know if the government's ever going to learn about their lesson about this. You know, they may update the infrastructure, they may not, right? But I can tell you this: it's the last time I'm ever going to freeze. Okay, I'm going to put a fucking generator in my fucking house, hook it up to my gas line.
Yeah,
and that's the last time I'm ever.
Well, what happens if your gas line goes out?
Why would it go out? That's one of the most reliable things.
No, it's not, because gas lines go out too, because they're not regulated. Right? Don't you see people's houses fucking exploding?
Well, bro, like California, where everywhere. They have earthquakes, gas lines that's one of the biggest concerns.
In this area, maybe it's just this area.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, in Atmos Energy had it might be Atmos or the other gas carrier out here. A couple of houses just exploded.
Well, yeah, we've had
because the gas line ruptures. Yeah.
No,
so they're not totally reliable. You could just be sleeping and then you're a fireball.
No, and even in Houston, we had, I think it was last year, there was this major fucking gas explosion. Remember that shit? Yep. Down there,
that's what I'm thinking of.
Spring Branch somewhere or whatever. But well, here's another point. You know who?
Most of the time, let me just go ahead. Most of the time that we have gas line explosions here in Houston is because someone's trying to rip off the insurance company.
Oh, here. No, that's true too. But
that's just the way they used to work.
But also too, there's accident, like construction accidents and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more
bullshit.
Or plants fucking exploding. Chemical plants and shit.
You know what? You win. You win. You're right. You're right. You know what? Just let them run around. Don't let them put caps on the gas. Don't winterize pipes. You know, if you're right, you're right. Let's just fucking find out. Let's just see when the next great winter, once in a lifetime thing happens in like 10 years. We'll just be like, oh, we didn't know this was gonna happen. Oh, it's so fucking stupid, man.
Well, and you know what too? You know who made out like banshees? Dude, when I was driving home one night, so the power actually went out. I was at work. So it kind of sucked because I was getting texts from home like, oh, fucking awesome. Power just went out. Sweet. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm stuck here for the next 12 hours. You know, I'd already been there 3 or 4 hours. I'm like, well, I'm not, I won't be home for, it's nothing I can do. Like, you tell me what I was trying to text, like, hey, do this to my wife, trying to help her out. Like, instructions given her and, what to do with the kids and all this kind of things, like little things to check around the house and whatever. But so when I drive home, it's dark as shit. It's all fucking icy and sketchy. I pull into the neighborhood. It's like just blackness, it's dark as fuck. Like, oh shit. Like I can barely see. There's people like walking around in the streets. But what I noticed, I was like, yo, there was like 1 or 2 houses like lit the fuck up, man. Like they're in there playing Xbox and, they got like heaters and shit and they're fucking playing music and jamming or whatever. Like, they're taking hot baths and fucking rub it in everybody's face. And I realized, but you know what I realized? because my son, his friend had actually texted like, hey, if your family wants to come over, and which actually this is going to lead into another topic. Your family, if they want to come over, we've got power and all this stuff. I drove by because I actually saw his house. Right. Because I've met the parents like, once or twice or whatever, and they live like streets over. So as I was coming into our neighborhood, I saw like, oh shit, there's like one house there that's like fully lit up and another one over there. When I realized those motherfuckers, they got the solar panels.
Yep. Hey,
they'd store that
green
shit.
energy. That
yeah. Hey, so hey, I like I said, I wasn't trying to make a whole political thing about it, but they were, they were all set up.
Yeah.
And
guess what? The sun forever.
But the other point I wanted to make about all that, we were kind of like, yeah, that's cool. And of course, my son kept asking like, yeah, are we gonna go over? Are we gonna go over?
No, that sucks.
Me and my wife were like, you know what, like. Keep in mind now too, this is coming from somebody who we've on this on the podcast. There were times in my life where I lived involuntarily for 3 months at a time with no fucking electricity in the dwelling that I lived in. We'll go into more detail of that on another podcast perhaps, but so this is like not shock. I'm not saying like I'm trying to make my kids like, oh, deal with it. I'm not like that. I'm like, hey, this sucks. But at the same time, I'm not an alarmist. I'm like, hey, we don't have power, but at the same time, we're fucking fine. It's gonna, at the most, it'll come back on in several days. We've got crackers and shit. Nobody's gonna die in our house, bro. We got peanut butter. You know what I mean? We've got a case or two, a bottle of water. Like, we're gonna fucking live. I'm not worried about that. Some people freak the fuck out and think everybody's gonna die. I'm not like that. So I tend to kind of. I tend to kind of downplay it.
I'm in the middle of that. I'm like, we're probably one of us is probably gonna die, but maybe the majority of us is gonna make it out. So, Benjamin, we lost you.
You know what? Wow. I think what Ben was really worried about was that they were gonna do like a wife swap type thing.
A wife swap?
Yeah, if you want the power, you got to swap around wives or some shit.
That would be interesting.
Rick. No,
he's back.
Oh, you're back. He's back.
I'm back.
I saw him blink. There you go.
All right. There we go.
You like that?
No, not at all. I didn't like that at all, dude. Fuck that. Anyways, moving on from the calamity that was the great snow apocalypse of Texas.
Snowvid.
To Snowvid 2021.
Snowvid. Well, that was the other thing.
Have you seen those fucking t-shirts? Snowvid.
No, but not to interrupt you real quick. I want you to continue on your point. But before we kind of get to the next topic, I just want to say COVID went out the fucking window, dude. Nobody gave a shit. Everybody's just like, you know what? Sanitize my fucking dick because I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm trying to get water, motherfucker. I don't care if you cough in my fucking mouth.
Everyone's like licking the same spigot. Water.
Dude, it was funny how quickly COVID shit went out the window. Like, nobody gives a fuck. Like, anyway, but go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
Jesus. So, whoa, I don't know how to fucking top sanitize my dick. But
probably the name of the episode, but anyway.
That'd be awesome. Is the episode that fucking name the episode Sanitize My Dick, motherfuckers.
At least the subtitle.
Moving on from Snowvid, Snowpocalypse, whatever fucking name you want to give the once in a lifetime thing that happens every 10 years. I think now we're looking at some interesting other things going on in the United States, gentlemen. We were kind of brainstorming a couple of topics so that we wouldn't just bitch about this for too long. I want to go ahead and take a peek at what's going on with the stimulus package with Mr. Biden, how we're getting this through.
It's okay. I already starved to death, so we don't need that.
Well, should we? I tell you what. Why don't we do this? Since you teased that, let's take a little break and then we'll start with the stimulus on the.
I did tease it. I flashed one of my tits and just said it. Hey,
you did, man. You
check it out. What's happening next? Will I show both?
I don't know, man.
Nah,
unzipped and put the tip out and kind of.
They're sanitized.
They are. Sanitize my fucking nuts.
Sanitize my dick.
He's sanitize my
So
dick, motherfucker.
ridiculous. It has nothing to do with getting water at all. It's like not even remotely to do with water. I don't get
No,
it.
but you know what that is?
Sanitize my dick.
It doesn't have anything to do with it, but that was the fucking vibe. Was like, yo, man, fucking sanitize my nuts. Fuck your bullshit.
Like, so it's like, wait, when did COVID become?
Yo, 6 feet. I ain't standing 6 feet behind this fucking spigot so I can put my bucket full of water. This motherfucker's gonna cut in line. Fuck that, dude. I'm a elbow this motherfucker in the neck.
Oh my god, the sense I just can't get over. I just see like I see like hard ass dudes in the yard going, yo, sanitize my dick. I'm about to get this water, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's about right. I mean, I can see that happening.
Oh my god.
I went to the grocery store and I almost got into a fight because some dude was just looking at me wrong, man. Come on.
Bro, I almost got into like 70 fights that week.
Oh my god. This is so awesome.
I was the most hated. This was the joke of the week. I was the most fucking hated man in Cyprus, bro, because I had to shut down because our establishment had shorter hours because product is supply chain is the first thing that takes the fucking beat because you can't get product to the store. So that's why when we have these catastrophic events, this happens probably every 3 months at this point,
right?
Seems like this is kind of a joke but sort of not. I'll be honest, there's a little bit of, whatever, like I'm a big boy, I can I can take it, but a lot of people that work for me or that work around me, there's an element, and not to downplay the real veterans who have been in war. I don't want to fucking play around with this term, but what I mean is there's a level of fucking like PTSD that some of these fecal are fucking dealing with. And I'm
fecal,
not,
that's a good name for them.
I did say feet.
Little Freudian there,
easy,
homie.
Maybe. But what I mean is like there's these fucking apocalyptic disasters every 3 months that these regular people that are just trying to work a job, like I said, it's part of my job to just fucking take it in stride and to rise above it and to try to tell people what to do. But these motherfuckers are just trying to make a living, dude. Some of them part-time, having to deal with really fucked up conditions, man.
Yep.
So if you go shop or you go to any fucking establishment during times like this and you're an asshole, man, you can go fuck yourself, honestly.
Yep.
That's well documented. There's you saw those Pizza Hut or Domino's employees in San Antonio that fucking sold a week's worth of food in 4 hours. And there's like a picture of them about to like collapse. Dude, like this is how, like, here's the thing. You got to make your paycheck, right? And so when you go clock in, whatever's waiting for you on the other end of that job is what you got to deal with that day. Okay. These aren't Ted Cruz type people who can go take a fucking vacation when they want to. No, motherfucker. If your paycheck wants money on it, when you clock in, you have to deal with whatever's in front of you. Okay. And so the flooding, the fucking COVID, the fucking, hurricanes, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, we're dealing with this shit I'm not exaggerating, every fucking 6 months. And I know the other parts of the country too, but it really does seem like, that's why, man, I always try to pump it up. Fucking Houston strong, bro. We're in the news every, and my friend pointed out, this is why it occurred to me. My friend pointed this, my friend from California texted me like, hey man, he's like, Jesus Christ. He's like, you guys are getting hit with some fucking bullshit and I was like, yeah, no, you're right, dude. But anyway, that being said, Jesus, I'm rambling. We've got plenty to talk about. Like you said, the stimulus will open with that in the second half. But for now, let's just let's vibe out, dude. Let's groove to some Mike Tacklebox tunes for just a minute. And I'll tell you what, when I edit this tomorrow morning, I'm going to let it go a little bit. I'm going to let it go for maybe like a minute just to chill y'all the fuck out. And let's make this little transition.
Because I touched myself.
Exactly, because we sanitized my nuts, and now we're getting to the second half, and believe you me, sometime in the second half, I've got a dream that I'm gonna let
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna let the boys analyze. Yeah, this is pretty dark. This is pretty
Get ready
dark.
to end up in some watch list somewhere, man.
Get ready to unsubscribe. Hey, you know what?
Wait, he's already on that watch list, bro. Now they're just gonna come pick him up, bro.
Hey, we just we might have some unsubscribers and some unfollows on the podcast and the Instagram, respectively. So anyway, but we are going to take
geriatrics
big time. We're going to take a little break here, and Rick's going to take a pee-pee.
Yeah,
we're going to refill our beverages, whatever they may be, and we'll see you in a minute or two. All right. And we're back for the second half, for the second part to this amazing podcast. Ben, what are we talking about? Are we going to get some money?
Yeah,
I think
we're looking at the stimulus bill. I think it's for sure going to pass.
Dude, you said that like 2 shows ago.
No, it's happening. They've already got the committee. All the Democrats are on board. It'll be 51-50,
right,
and it's going to get passed. So $1.9 trillion stimulus. This could be big, for some people they'll be getting up to $1,400. They're also looking at helping out small businesses and also recuperating some finances to the states for the vaccine push. So, I mean, while I understand the trepidation by Republicans on the price tag of this, because it's pretty massive. I mean, 1.9 trillion is nothing to shake a stick at. That's the GDP of basically every country except for the top 5 or 6. I mean, that's a lot of money. So with that being said, we're
going to give money to transgendered studies in Pakistan or some shit like that, or
you know what, man, I'm not touching that with anything. I ain't touching that with a sterilized dick.
Hey, that's what happened last time. Anyway.
Sanitize your dick.
Sanitize. But in the end, we are looking at that. So I think this is a good thing. I think we will hopefully get some money flowing into the economy. But what I am slightly more excited about is a moratorium is going to be stayed on evictions and things of that nature. I think this is going to help our market more in another sense because of the fact that, if people start losing their homes or being evicted, that could potentially drive the price of housing down substantially, which could lead to another financial crisis of a different type. So right now we're making artificial floors so that if we fall, it's not all the way to the ground. So I think the stimulus and things of that nature are going to help continue us as we hobble along, because jobs reports haven't been great, right? I mean, the last jobs report shows that even more, there's not as many people hiring. So this recovery is becoming to look more K-shaped versus the W or the V that the Republicans are trying to push. This seems to be more of a upward trending recovery. So the rich are getting richer and the poor are basically staying about the same, are getting worse off with no job. So I think the moratoriums against evictions and protections will help benefit Americans the most. So I think
but you get a lot of landlords who aren't getting paid.
Right. But there are provisions that are going to help them too. There will be tax write-offs. There will be things that are going to be put into these bills to help subsidize that. And it's what's happening. So I think
housing, huh?
Well, that's what it's like. Hey, we subsidize oil, we subsidize water, we subsidize milk, we subsidize farmers, we subsidize. I mean, what don't we subsidize? You tell me something we don't subsidize.
Housing.
We do subsidize housing. Come on, FHA loans, really? That's subsidized housing. That's huh?
I never had an FHA loan.
Well, no, but majority of people when they purchase homes get them HFA. Sally Mae, Sally Mac. Though this is actual federal subsidizing homes. But makes it easier for people to get a home. So no, those are subsidized, my friend. That's why they're easier.
Loans are subsidized. You're right. But to allow people to just not pay their rent,
I think what prevents a glut of homes hitting the market, which could potentially collapse the real estate market. So yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
But it's still going to collapse anyway. I mean, people aren't
not necessarily. Not necessarily. I think that
the only difference is
they're
squatting.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, that's what it is.
I don't think so. I think these people are just, like I said, they're rough times. They could lose their homes. They could lose their lives. This is just going to help, hopefully, prevent the complete dissolution of that. So that's my thought process. Is I think it does protect the market more than what you're saying. The squatters. I think if people are booted out at an immense rate, homelessness goes up. That's when you see the degradation of society even worse. I mean, do you want every city in the country to have a Skid Row like LA does? Is that what you want?
That they all do, man.
No, they do not. No, dude, LA's out of fucking control. California, why do you think everyone's really moving? It's not just because fucking what's it called? Yeah,
because the homeless problem is terrible.
It's not just because of exactly. But what do you think happens whenever people can't afford homes in a certain area? What do? They become homeless. So we start doing that. We start implementing these hardcore policies. It's going to cause the same type of shit here too. It's going to cause the same type of shit everywhere.
People live in these apartments rent-free, payment-free. They're going to turn to slums. Pretty much, you're going to get slums all over the city anyway.
Okay. You're talking about future impacts of something that's not going to continue more than 8 to 9 months.
Really? This is what they said about COVID. Come on.
No.
2 weeks. 2 weeks to minimize the impact. That's what they said. And look,
that was a Republican. That was a Republican who said that.
No, dude, that was Fauci.
All the Democrats were saying something way different. Like, hey guys, we should really be careful. And it was your.
The Democrats are saying hug an Asian.
It was your former No, I'm not going to go that far. But your former fuckboy who said it's fine. It wasn't fine. He didn't have it under control. Had this been dealt with by a real adult, things probably would have been different. It should have been 500,000 souls that are gone now because of this.
Yeah, you had Nancy Pelosi out there saying, "Oh, go out there and hug an Asian." Oh, this is.
I don't think that's what she said.
She did, dude. She did.
I'm pretty sure she did.
You had the Italian government out there who's extremely far left saying, "Oh, hug a Chinese guy over there."
I don't think the Italian. I'm pretty sure the Italian government.
I sent you guys the article.
No, I remember that.
Hug an Asian.
Yeah,
hug an Asian.
Yeah, exactly.
You
know what? It goes both ways, man.
Wait, hold on. You guys, it'll be a little hypocritical of you to not to hug an Asian, Rick.
Yeah, we do a little bit more.
Yeah, you guys do a lot more than hugging Asians. You're kind of married to them.
But ours don't have COVID. Ours don't have COVID.
No.
Bro, easy.
Bro. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Anyways, but going from there, when we're really looking at, I don't know if I can even fucking continue from that.
You're on an island,
but my Asian doesn't have COVID. It was the other Asians who made COVID, not my Asian.
I don't know, man. There's a whole China.
Jesus
I don't know.
Christ. So fuck, where am I now? Because I'm lost. Because you know what? Rick just said something so ridiculous. I don't even know how to fucking handle this shit. Anyway,
let's just go to the next subject.
So I heard there's some fucking alien shit going on.
Wait, shoot. Hey, this would be a good time to transition.
Fucking Asian? My Asian.
I just temped her this morning, bro.
What the fuck happened here?
98.6.
What happened? Jesus Christ. Fucking Asian, well, you do every day, you dumb motherfucker. Then it's like, well, my Asian doesn't have COVID. What the fuck is going on here today? Rick has gone full circle. This is the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever heard. What's you're talking about Pelosi hugging Asian. I'm like, hey, asshole, you're married to an Asian. They, well, mine doesn't have COVID. So fuck you. And like this self-righteous indignation was
pretty,
like, my Asian doesn't.
It's very responsible to just go out there and just hug whoever.
My Asian doesn't have it.
I mean,
oh my God,
man! If they don't have COVID, you're gonna get slapped with sexual harassment or some shit like that.
Oh fuck!
Anyway,
so moving on.
So what's going on with aliens, man?
Wild shit.
Well, before we wrap up aliens, do we get into my
yeah, let's go into the geriatric abuse. Oh Jesus Christ.
So occasionally on Skip the Noise podcast, we like to analyze dreams. You know, it's a part of the human psyche and sometimes can lead to some interesting results. And this was recently, as this literally happened last night into this morning. I had a dream that I'm so embarrassed, but you know what? This is the commitment. Once you're on a podcast, it kind of changes things. You've got a commitment to the listeners. You've got to be a little bit more open and honest than you normally would. I'm willing to live with that. I'm willing to live with you guys analyzing my psyche and being very disappointed with what lies beneath. So I had a dream last night that it's, you know how dreams are. It's hard you only remember a portion. Okay. So there was stuff before and there was stuff after, but what stood out and what hung around in my memory bank was me. And I was in a scenario where for some reason I was forced, and so the setting was kind of this sort of apocalyptic. I was on a tennis court, but you know, obviously it was run down. It wasn't being used for tennis anymore.
Was Johnny Mac on that fucking tennis court?
I don't know. It was just me with an aluminum baseball bat, and I was given the task of ending the lives of 2 female senior citizens with an aluminum baseball bat. Like I said,
aluminum bat.
It was aluminum.
It wasn't wood.
No, it wasn't wood. It wasn't wood. This
so
was
light. It's got a little rebound on it.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ! I mean,
and that's a little science for you in home defense.
Yeah.
Probably your best if you're going to go with a bat. Probably go with a T-ball bat.
Yep.
Honestly, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's light, it's
speed. You're going to be able to,
exactly. You're going to get
less
more
resistance.
Return clubbing will be way faster.
You're not hitting a baseball to try to get a triple to fucking bring runs in. You're trying to bash somebody's fucking brain in. So you want a T-ball bat. Okay. So I think that's what I had in this dream. I had, right? You're not trying to hit a fucking double and fucking get a couple of RBIs to win the fucking softball game. You're fucking
going for fucking homies. You're trying to go yard with that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So I had a T-ball bat in my hand, and I don't know what the fucking Hunger Games scenario I was involved in was, but for some reason I was very conflicted because I was like, man, fuck, like this is terrible. Like I would never do this, but for whatever reason I had to, like you know what I mean? Whatever the scenario was, like I didn't really have much of a choice. I don't know if there's somebody threatening me and my family, or like, hey, it's either you or them, like figure it out. That's kind of what I was left with. But what was odd was like, yeah, I was on some like rundown tennis court. And so these 2 ladies were kind of meandering around, and I'm like, shit. All right. Like, I guess. And so
were you worried about what's going to happen? That your clothes is going to splat all over the place? And...
My clothes? No.
Yeah. I would be worried about that too, man. Like shit.
Not really. In this given scenario, I was more worried about how my soul was going to feel with its eternal, eternal possibilities of, you know what I mean? Like with the creator of all things, of how I was going to negotiate that action.
Well, after you nugget 2 old chicks with a fucking aluminum.
Yeah, it's not so bad. Once you realize there's no going back. I mean, once you reach a point of no return, it's not so bad.
Well, and that's kind of what
that job and go home.
That was Right.
Fuck,
And that was kind of Rick's
going on the dark fucking end of the spectrum today.
But that was the underlying.
This is Rick uncontrolled. Like, this is Rick after dark, guys.
That should be a separate
that should be just his sick, twisted thoughts.
That's true, man.
Podcast. Yeah, I'll open it up, man. We can start a whole new podcast.
I'll hug my own Asian.
Therapy's for, man.
I hug my Asian. My Asian doesn't have COVID.
Right.
That's right.
Well,
Huey.
Well, so anyway, the conflict in this scenario was that, I felt for some reason I had to do it. So I did, unfortunately. I had to do it. I did, unfortunately, participate in the task I was asked to do. So I was swinging, obviously for the head, because that's the most efficient way to end the situation. But I got to tell you, they were a little bit tougher than anticipated. So that was the hard part, was that it wasn't as easy or final as you might have hoped. So it took a little bit of effort. And that's where it really started to fucking bum me out. I'll be honest with you. Because in the dream, you're interpreting all these emotions like, fuck, man, I'm horrible. It was one of those things where it was like I was in such a dire scenario that I was like, I'm going to hell. But how bad, you know what I mean? It was like I was negotiating with my soul as to like, okay, and rationalizing, well, I guess and this is about probably the last sentence I'll say, because this is going down a real dark path. And I don't want the party in the back to be this much of a bum out. But I was like, hey, yo,
you don't want to be turned in for charges.
No, exactly. But I was like, man, fuck, like they're not, like the more effort I had to put into it, the more it was like fucking with my head.
Dude. So what do you think this story, this dream had a moral to it?
Well, it had to. I think that the deal was like, hey man,
don't finish the job, man. Finish the fucking job.
That's a wood bat. Make sure you use an aluminum one.
That's right. Finish the job, pussy. Like no matter what the consequences are, fucking get it done.
Finish the job, pussy. Go ahead.
Finish the job, pussy.
What the fuck is going on here?
But I was not happy with that. I was very. I didn't feel good about what I was doing at all.
Who likes their job? I mean, come on.
That's true, man.
Well, okay. I know someone who likes their job less is the person who has to beat old ladies with aluminum bats.
That's true.
Like that's not the job you want to have. Ever.
I mean, at least you didn't have to clean it up. That was the other guy.
Well, I didn't wait. I woke up before that happened.
Fuck. You know what? You cannot debate with Rick tonight because he's just going that other level. Your first punch isn't even like to the jaw; it's just straight for the dick. Like he's like that guy like you're about to get into a fight in, and he just goes right to your nuts with a kick, and that's all you have.
Do it.
Hey, but before we get into aliens, I just want to make the statement that before you judge me, let's analyze yourself. Why don't you take a second and think about all the crazy thoughts you might have had in your head, and what kind of dreams you might have had, and maybe give me a little credit for just being honest with this.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had a pretty.
Maybe it's part of your PTSD though. That retail PTSD.
Maybe it's just like that post-apocalypse. Like, hey, are we in an apocalypse every 3 months? Maybe it's something like that. Like I'm forced to, and I will say, I didn't necessarily want to bring this up, but.
Nice.
It's possible. I'm not going to confirm this. It's possible that the identity of these people were people that were known to me. It got a little worse. So,
God.
I hope every old lady that knows
did they give you like
now?
Did they give you baked goods at any point in time?
They sure did, man. I don't know. That might have.
Fuck, dude, they like gave you cookies and you beat them to death with a fucking bat. You sick fuck you. Jesus, you know what? Here, let me analyze this. You're fucked up. You beat poor old ladies and give you cookies.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Beating old ladies.
Did they moan when you did it? Did they moan like?
No.
That
was the weird part. Was like they were admirably tough. Like it was kind of like
that's good.
Fuck,
Yeah.
like that hurt. Like, God damn
worse.
it! Like they were still walking.
It's admirable.
You're beating two Gomer Piles, or like like fucking the dude from fucking the one, like you're beating one of the what's it, that guy
like The Walking
from,
Dead?
No, what's that fucking guy from?
It felt like The Walking Dead. Dude.
Yeah,
like that's what it was like.
Oh, you're a zombie beating.
It's kind of like
what,
that.
Though? Don't judge Benjamin, man. At least he wasn't beating like little animals. That's some fucked up shit right there.
Oh, what?
Right.
At least he wasn't beating little animals. I mean,
old women. What the fuck?
You know what? I mean, old women. I mean, they live their life. They got to do their thing. But no, man, that's a whole. That's a different level of depravity.
Rick,
right
you're
there.
the fucking Zodiac killer, aren't you? You are the Zodiac killer. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew there's something wrong. I solved it right now. You are the Zodiac killer. You're the one who wrote that shit backwards. You're really a 93-year-old man dressed in some type of like skin suit
and aliens. Let's go. I'm done with that one.
No. I
don't want to feel like a terrible person.
We just broke
anymore.
a crime here. Yo, dude, you've already terrified your life with what you just told everybody. You fucking geriatric beating motherfucker. No, it's all good. I've had worse dreams. I've had worse dreams of shit. So trust me. Well, yeah. I've dreamed way worse things than that. That's just.
Were you on anything?
Was I on anything? Me?
Yeah.
Ben.
I was on everything. I mean, dude.
Nice.
But continuing on. But yeah, so just to kind of start wrapping up this this tale of woe and abuse, we're moving on to the interesting news. So part of this the previous stimulus bill was the fact that the government had 180 days to start releasing information about UFOs and events that they've ran into. And so one of the ones, and so I have to give a credit to the stuff they don't want you to know podcast. It's on iHeartRadio, really awesome podcast. Kind of pinched the story off of this one. Basically, in the 60s or 70s, I believe this is about the time frame, they found a nickel, tungsten, or titanium alloy that, as they put it, and they put it in a bunch of scientific terms that I really don't remember completely of, but basically this thing had the ability to become invisible. There was some type of photoreceptor attached to it. The crazy part is they never found out whose technology it was. And so, of course, that's why it's under the UFO category, because they don't know where it's from. But it's kind of becoming, guys, we're starting to see more and more and more of these discussions, these events, the release of information. So you really got to start thinking, you got 3 countries rushing to Mars, right? You have UAE, you have us, and you have China. We're all talking about all these UFO things that are being disclosed. Maybe there's something else going on that we don't know. Why would 3 countries go to Mars at the same time? We're releasing a bunch of info regarding UFOs all the time now. Disclosure is, in one way, almost seems like it's imminent. They've captured technology. They talked about the technology in this little thing being that they have something that they don't understand where it came from and who was even that advanced back in the 60s. What the fuck is going on? Huh?
Did they talk about where they obtained it, or
no? That's all redacted. Yeah. Everything all that stuff's redacted. But they talk about what was the component, and what it had that was kind of special was that it had some type of like photoreceptor that almost made it invisible. But you start thinking about this shit. Why is everyone going to Mars? What the fuck is on Mars? I don't know.
Nothing. It's a desert. I mean, from the pictures.
Why all of a sudden 3 countries all hit Mars at the same time?
Yeah, there's some
almost
kind of
a coordinated event. You have now it's 2 rovers, and you have, they say weather satellite, but that could easily be turned into a reconnaissance satellite of the planet. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, they've been knowing about something.
Something's happening, because it doesn't make any sense. And the way that these countries all hit the same planet, I mean, I know. And then, of course, the rationalists will just say, oh, because, everyone's trying to flex their space PPs right now. But it's kind of crazy that they all chose Mars, especially during this time of massive like events, required disclosure events of UFOs. Everyone headed to Mars. What happens if disclosure has something to do with that? What happens if everyone's preparing for this disclosure event and there's something going on with Mars? So to me, I thought, man, that's some wild shit. And of course, this is all speculation, and we all just, get our little tinfoil hats on for this shit. But I wanted to pose that. What the fuck is going on Mars?
Check this out. What if, because here's the thing I've thought all along. The whole aliens coming from other planets or whatever, and they come on Earth in these spaceships or whatever. What if that whole narrative is like a distraction? What if it's even more fucked up to where that is actually the better, you know what I mean? Like that's the better scenario for the society as a whole to believe. Check this out. This is Noise Podcast first. What if life originated on Mars?
Fucking
like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And
what happens if we're knocking on the door of the Mars?
What if this is already the second cycle? What if the whole, you know what I mean? The whole life cycle, everything started on Mars and fucking went to Earth, and now it's going to go back to Mars.
That's weird.
What about that?
That's true, dude. And it easily could have, because at one point Mars had plenty of water.
Right.
I mean, they were saying that the double helix, they can't explain how it happened naturally. They think it might have been some sort of alien, might have been introduced by some sort of alien object, like a comet or even intentionally, But the double helix that we experienced in our DNA, that's not something that it would explain how it happened naturally in nature. So, maybe to Benjamin's credit, I mean, maybe it came from Mars.
Maybe that's what we're going to Mars. Maybe maybe that's the whole point of this whole game, is that we're fucking going back to Mars to go knock on the doors of the forefathers. Maybe there's something over there, and disclosure. Disclosure and the fact that everyone's rushing to try to do something about it. Maybe it's the way you control the disclosure event, by showing something to maybe keep people calm, or to basically get ready for us to all kiss the ass of our overlords. Either fucking way, it's pretty crazy that it's pretty, like, to me, it's weird that everyone's rushing to the same planet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, why did they rush to like the other moons out there? Like Jupiter moons or Saturn moons.
Exactly. Why waste resources on Mars when we could have tried to go for Europa?
And it's not like that. It's cheap.
No,
you know what I mean? Like that's a lot we talked about that. Was it last episode? We talked about UAE getting their Mars money together.
Yeah,
like, that's no small feat, man.
Well,
that's
UAE, well, that for UAE, that shit's in the seat cushion.
That's just another. Yeah, that's just exactly. That's behind their couch.
They're like, oh fuck, wait, that's that sack of cash, the one behind the platinum,
right?
Platinum and diamond Audi.
Yeah, that's
okay. We'll send a fucking thing over there.
That's the like hybrid tiger giraffe that they fucking have that they keep in the back seat.
Yep. You hear that thing that showed up in Cardi B's video? Yeah, that thing.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like the change that they have in the console of the car that they give to homeless guys and the fucking.
Yeah, all of a sudden they like give them like a full Bitcoin, like a real one.
Dude, you know what? A side thing. I went to Gallery Furniture because they had like a dragon dance. I was trying to teach the kids about dragon dances and shit like that. So Mattress Mac shows up, right? Because we're in Gallery Furniture.
An Asian there.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Were they 6 feet apart in the dragon dance?
Yeah. No, nobody was 6 feet apart, man. We're all just watching the dragon dance. And we had these pretend masks on and shit. They have masks. But Mattress Mac shows up and he starts like, you're supposed to feed the dragon like money, like $2 bills or whatever. He pulls out like a wad of hundreds and starts giving them out to the dragons and just to everybody who's dancing there.
I would have been dancing like a motherfucker.
Yeah, man. Well, you weren't part of the show. I wasn't part of the show either. But
I would have figured out a way.
That dude pulls up like a big wad of cash, man.
Bro, you just spread your ass cheeks.
I'm like, twerking. Shit, bring it down. I would have grabbed the pole. I would have been like, whoa, somebody get in the show.
That dude's loaded, man. Anyway, just wanted to tell you that.
Continuing from disclosure to our wonderful local celebrity, but big shout out either way to Mattress Mac for his wonderful hospitality during this.
That's true.
Pandemic.
That is true.
Good man.
He's
always opened his doors to everyone. Anytime shit goes south, he's the first person to give not only handouts, but to just be a good human being. So big shout out to him. And hopefully whenever the alien overlords overtake us, they let him live, because there's one human that needs to continue. It's Matt for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, he looked a little old, I mean, I've been here for almost 20 years now, and he's aged a little bit, but he was still there, man. Still managing his store.
Him as a kid. I remember as a fucking kid. I grew up there. I remember his fucking jumping when he pulls out the money thing has been around for a minute.
Save you money.
Yeah, that's right.
So in the end, I definitely hope the aliens save him. Rick's dragon dance is pretty dope. You're the Ox, guys. We're definitely kicking that one off. A lot going on.
Yeah, really.
A lot going
really
on.
Kicking that one off. Jesus.
Yep. I know, man.
It's okay. You know what? The Ox
started out great.
The Ox is doing fine. We're gonna get through this cold thing, and then what? Summer comes around. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Whatever. And then fall again.
There's gonna be chicken flu. Oh, that's a big teaser for next run.
You know what? On the bigger note, I don't even care anymore. It's like wherever I'm at is where it's going down.
So fucking
that's right, man. My heart is in my chest. Physical location is of no consequence to Benjamin James. Wherever I'm at, it's going down. That's what it is. That's what I've learned from the tennis court, dude. If I got a little T-ball bat, you might get your dome crushed in. I don't know. You just might. Depends on the circumstance. They told me to do at work that day.
Maybe we'll get a new sponsor. Like some type of aluminum
fucking
sponsor. That'd be
fucking
dope.
The fucking Easton.
Maybe that's how we do it, guys. Maybe that's how we finally hit the big scene, is we get Easton to support us. Like, yo, you want to hear some fucked up great advertising for your fucking wiffle ball bats or for your fucking T-ball bats?
That's right.
Listen to this story, motherfuckers.
Yeah, watch this story.
No copy on that one.
Well, not only that, man, I try to hit up obviously I got a little, we've talked about this on the podcast previous times, a little cooler business on the side. Dude, I hit up Igloo like all the time on Instagram. They posted this picture of it was some guy with like a fanny pack and an eagle and wearing this crazy shit. And the joke of it was like, oh, you think your wife thinks you're thinking about other girls. It's like what you're really thinking about. And it shows this guy, but he's got this little Igloo fanny pack. I DM'd him. I'm like, hey, yo, if I repost this shit, will y'all hook me up with that Igloo fanny pack?
Yeah,
I'll take that shit.
Oh, please hook it up. They hooked you up.
Shit, I'll sell that motherfucker for $15.
No, you will not. You will sport that.
No, I'll keep it, and I'll relabel it as a Skip Igloo fanny pack.
That'd be dope.
And maybe I'll sell it to.
Hey, but we can do that as merch,
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to establish a partnership, and not only that, here's a call.
The t-shirts are gonna be dope.
Here we go. So we're wrapping up the podcast. This is where it gets fun. So a couple of call outs. I've given much love because there's a little Vietnamese place that's very local, literally like it's on my jogging route. That's how local it is to me. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna pump them up because they got good shit there. It's Retro Cafe, Cypress, Texas. I'm waiting for some reciprocation, just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. If you guys are listening to the podcast,
yeah.
And I'm not asking for anything. I'm just saying just a little love in the means of like, hey, thanks for the shout out.
Hey.
Because I try to, you guys are fucking.
Hey, yeah.
I'm not asking nobody to sanitize my nuts. I'm just saying,
yeah.
No, you don't have to, man. Don't worry about it.
No, don't worry about it.
The other thing, we've gone. This is episode 35, so we've gone 35 episodes, and it has been, 98% of them have been the three of us. There's been a couple episodes where it's been a 2-man crew.
Oh, yeah.
But one thing, we've never had a guest. Well, let me tell you, that's in the works. I don't know if it'll be episode 36, 37. It's definitely coming soon. I've got a very distinguished gentleman who I've known for a long time, who we're warming up to get on the show. He's got some interesting theories, a very, very interesting character. So I want everybody to look forward to that. I won't announce it yet because I'm going to, I like to tease. I like to be a little bit of a cock tease.
Oh.
So we'll keep that in the wraps. But definitely look forward to that. Yeah, definitely. That's coming up. He's got some interesting theories. Some of the stuff we talked about tonight, that'll be a nice little segue in for that. But nonetheless, please follow us on Instagram, skip_the_noise_podcast. I try to do as much as I can. It's almost a little part-time job, trying to post, keep you guys informed, separate the news from the bullshit, skipping the noise, listening to us, listen to our takes, getting away from the echo chamber and all the bullshit. We appreciate all the listenership. You guys it's a small number of you guys, but you guys are hardcore. It's the same folks every single time. We just got to spread this around and start. We are slowly but surely making a little bit of growth. But the one thing I am very positive about is that y'all motherfuckers have stuck with us. Like the ones that we have, our listenership, y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all have been here because I know I can analyze the numbers and I can see where the people are listening from, where the downloads are coming from. And you guys, you'll keep fucking getting episodes. So obviously there's something here. The only ask, once again, if y'all would leave reviews or if y'all would pump us up, and some of you do, some of the other Instagram folks that I've had the privilege to interact with are doing a good job supporting us. And it's nonetheless, I don't know. You guys got anything to wrap up the show with? Any kind of last words? Or
just a couple of quick asks, since we do have everyone just towards the end of this thing. Just remember, guys, if you guys can just kind of just hit up one person, right? Just everything that we do is grassroots, right? Everything we're going to end up doing is just by word of mouth. So just, you get a little bored this week, you're stuck at home, you're working from home. You just send this out to one person, just just a quick homework. Just send it to one person that can handle it. That's cool, and just let it, because there's some shit we say, there's some things we believe, there's some things that that people are just gonna freak out about. But just send it to one person that you think would enjoy a couple of laughs of a couple of knuckleheads talking some shit, and then just shoot that out, and then just just copy us when you do it. Just say hey at on Instagram, say hey at this person. Skip the noise, so that we can see you do it. And we just really, the only thing we want to do is just, like I said, just slowly grow. We want to enjoy giving out more content, doing everything we can. So just, help us grow a little bit. So just bring in that one person, and then we can just keep this party rolling. That's all. Absolutely. And just be careful if you're elderly and Ben has an aluminum bat. That's all I have.
Yeah, definitely watch out for me. If I'm in some sort of survival scenario where I've got to put you
stake on the ground.
If I got to put you down, you know what I mean? Obviously I can't adjust my morals to compensate for that. I'll just fucking go ahead with it.
Oh, fuck.
Which is trouble.
Yeah. And with that being said, please catch us on Instagram, Facebook, all the wonderful spots you can find. Skip the noise. Tell your friends about us. Let them know that we're a great positive experience that brings happiness and joy through all aspects of life. And hug an Asian, beat an old woman with the bat, whatever you got to do to get through the day. We love you guys. Keep it real. Catch you on the flipper.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.